And I tell you what, they're going to come at Quinnipiac tonight.
Oh, they certainly are. I mean, when you're a preseason favorite, you know you're there. You just got to show it.
Tim Smith throwing it up. Paulo Tieno jumping center. Tariq Ingram for Ryder. Bobcats open up on the offensive end. Ryder with the defense inside in the paint area against Amari Tice. And the Bronx going the other way quickly. T.J. Weeks buries a three-pointer. Ryder with the defensive stop at one end. The three to open up the scoring tonight here in Hamden.
Well, you're facing a really athletic Ryder team, and really good to move by Tice. But again, they're athletic enough, and they like to run, and that's a pretty good basketball team. You're not preseason pick number one if you don't have really good players. Ryder's got some really good players.
And defensively, they're going to pick up full court, start the fast pace.
Savion Lewis up top. Shot clock for Quinnipiac down to 3. They work it inside. Paulo Tieno with the layup.
Hey, what Quinnipiac looks best was they run the high dribble screen from the middle of the court, eliminate weak side help. Good start offensively.
Allen Powell is number 1. Savion Lewis number 2. Assist to turnover ratio in the MAAC this year. Powell 3.1 assists to every turnover. Ball batted away and out of bounds to Quinnipiac. Minute 5 off the clock here in the opening half. Glad you're with us on this Friday night. Bobcats and Ryder both playing and closing out the 2023 calendar, losing on the road. Ryder lost big to Penn State. Quinnipiac last Saturday in Gainesville, Florida, losing big to the Gators in the SEC. Here is Balanc working against Corey McKeithen, who's a Connecticut native. Balanc missing from long range, and they try to chase it down. And it goes to Alexis Reyes as the Bobcats keep the possession alive. Tice up top, knocks down the 3. 5 in a row for Quinnipiac and the Bobcats' first lead of the game.
On his shot, faked right, came back left.
He said, listen,
you don't want it, I'll take it.
I'm supposed to pass the ball to Balanc. I understand that. Let me take a look. Balanc was being guarded, and you're right, Di. He just said, why not?
McKeithen working against Lewis. Top of the key 3. Corey McKeithen off the mark. Reyes and Otieno there. Reyes corrals the rebound. Here is Savion Lewis. Works the pass inside. Slam dunk. Mr. Otieno, 7 in a row for Quinnipiac.
Yeah, you love that little wrinkle. And again, it's something I think you can stay with until you see Ryder make an adjustment. That high dribble screen from the middle of the court.
Here is Weeks, who knocked down a 3 for Ryder's first points. Bobcats on a 7-0 run. James inside, unable to connect. Weak side rebound. Ryder able to keep the possession alive. Ingram got the offensive board out of bounds off Quinnipiac. We'll take another look.
You're able to take a peek here. You're in the middle of the court. You got a high little dribble screen. Good bounce pass. And again, in traffic, Otieno went up with 2 hands and dunked instead of laying it in.
And Otieno just saw the opening. His guy went over to help. Was able to be there and dunk.
Reyes in a foot race with McKeithen. And out of bounds off Alexis Reyes. And now our two of our officials going to come together, Tim Smith and Ryan Corbett. Tim Smith, Ryan Corbett, Stephen Perry Jr. are 3 officials, and they change the call. Quinnipiac basketball with just over 2.5 off the clock here in the first half.
Good teamwork there by the officials. I always wonder if the one that made the bet made the wrong call and his partner picks him up. How does that dude feel? Is it like looking at a called third strike where you can't wait to get into the dugout?
No, because, if you make a mistake, they're going to see it on film. So, you make a mistake, somebody helps you out.
I like it. I like your answer there, Di.
Quinnipiac by 6. Savion Lewis, his first points of the game. Weeks out on the perimeter, guarded by Matt Balanc.
Balanc did a really good job on that possession on the wing, not allowing the post feed. Oh, what a move.
Mervyn James on the assist by Powell. That ends Quinnipiac's 9-0 run. And James, leading scorer in the MAAC, his first points of the game.
I find this story pretty interesting, right? So there's 15 players from last year that were first, second, or third team MAAC. He's the only one that stayed. Everybody else left. They either graduated or 14, 13 transferred to a higher conference. James stays, and he's all that in a bag of barbecue chips.
Last year, Mervyn James, second team All-MAAC. This year, as Di alluded to earlier, preseason player of the year. Powell with the bucket. Ryder within 3. Powell 0 for 5 from behind the three-point line. Di, you and I talked with Quinnipiac head coach Tom Bacora before the game. He said Allen Powell is one of those guys who can get going. There's the steal. James almost had it poked away, did have it poked away by Lewis. It will be Rider basketball. But he said, Powell's a guy we know who can get going. We just don't want him to get going here tonight. We've hit the first media timeout of the night. 4:01 off the clock. Quinnipiac leading Rider by 3.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Popeye's new chicken wings make no sense. Marinated in Louisiana spices, hand battered and flipped, and then we have the audacity to call all 5 flavors fast food? Someone should really say something, or order something.
Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
And before the break, you're going to see Powell. He's coming across the lane. He's going to create some space. He's going to step back, and he's going to fire away and scores his 3. He's Rider's second leading scorer. He's dangerous out here.
Well, he was able, you have to see how he got separation. Savion Lewis, really good defensive player. He's able nowadays to go, put it between your legs, step back, create separation, and get it off quick.
Powell, double figures, 6 of his previous 7 games entry tonight for Rider. Had 6 threes, 21 against Penn. Ball poked away. Kevin Baggett in his 12th season as head coach at Rider in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, going to his bench during that timeout. DJ Dudley checking in. And JT Langston also on the floor. Langston with the deflection right there. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Bobcats. Langston and Dudley both. Dudley's a first-year player, pardon me. There's a tie-up, and possession arrow belongs to Rider.
Now, the most encouraging part of this early game for me, 4 minutes in, is to see the activity and the energy and the effort of Otieno for Quinnipiac inside.
I was just going to say that matchup underneath is really critical. We know all the focus is going to be on Balanc, and let's see what Paul can do out here.
And Balanc, good help there on the high live into the paint area. Quinnipiac forcing the turnover. Here's Tice pulling the trigger on the 3, missing long rebound comes to Lewis. Lewis gets it inside for Reyes. Reyes gets his own miss, misses a second time. And Rider quickly going the other way. Here's Dudley. Dudley losing the ball. Balanc racing into the in front court. He has got a 3-2.
Well done.
Reyes to Otieno. Beautifully done there. Or to Tice, pardon me, with the bucket. And the Bobcats by 5.
They tic-tac-toe. Didn't put the ball on the floor and finish old style, old school, 1978 3-on-1 break.
Touch pass.
Powell the jumper off the mark. Offensive rebound. Put back no, but a foul. And Mervyn James is going to go to the line for a pair. Take another look. The Bobcats in transition.
Tic-tac-toe. A really good job looking back. I thought Balanc did a really good job knowing there was a trailer. Threw in front, knowing that the ball goes to Reyes. Well done.
Looks like a 3-person drill.
Hey, honestly, like a dry run, you're running your 3-man stuff.
James at the line for 2. He's been in double figures in every game so far this season for the Bronx. Misses on the first free throw. He is 76% on the season from the line. Was the MAAC Player of the Week back in late December. Garnered those honors just after the Christmas holiday.
He's also one of their top rebounders, so he's just not a scorer. He's an all-around player.
7.4 rebounds per game, career high 28 on the road, and a loss at Maryland back in November. Reached 1,000 career points at Rider. Last time out at Penn State, now over 1,600 career points between Rider and his first 2 years at North Alabama.
Yeah, I think what's amazing to me is the numbers that he's putting up against the teams that Rider's played against. You look at their roster in terms of who they've played. They got 6 games against Power 5 conference games, and he's putting up numbers.
Here's Weeks in the front court. He knocked down a three to open up the scoring tonight on Ryder's first offensive possession. James spinning against the defender Lewis, gets inside, gets the roll. Billy, to your point, 4 games at home, 9 on the road. Non-conference losses at Marquette, Nebraska, Stony Brook, Maryland, Monmouth, overtime loss in Philly against the Penn Quakers.
Yeah, I would tell you what, you look at their record and it can be deceiving. I understand that's your record, but there's no team in the MAAC that would have beat those teams that they played. So if they schedule down a little bit, they're 3-3, and it's a 500 team.
How is Reyes so open on that three-point attempt there?
Exactly. No one was near him, and he's a three-point shooter.
Weeks answering at the other end, his second triple of the game. And the Bobcats by 2 as we approach 7 minutes off the clock in the opening half.
Well, you know, now in MAAC play is here, you throw out preseason. All the non-conference games are gone. Now it's showtime for both teams.
Yeah, I guess good thought that time by Savion Lewis. I would say poor execution on the pass. He looking for Balanc to go back door, throw him a lob, and I'm not sure even Superman was able to get that one.
Bobcats right now 2 starters on the floor. Doug Young is checked in. Damar Kelly in the game for Quinnipiac, along with Richie Springs, grad student and transfer from UConn. Kelly, first-year player, same for Young. Kelly is a freshman, Young junior college experience. Doug Young coming off a tough performance. Played just 4 minutes last Saturday in the loss in Gainesville against the Florida Gators. Good job there as Springs had position against the Ryder player, but turnover here by Balanc in the backcourt, and the bucket by TJ Weeks. The turnover and the basket for Ryder. The Bronx evening up the game at 16 apiece.
Yeah, McKeithen is a good player of the year coming out of high school here in Connecticut. Went to Windsor and he's getting himself in the starting lineup over at Ryder. Real good player.
Played for Ken Smith at Windsor High School, 3-time All-State player. Scored almost 2,000 career points during his high school career. Damar Kelly, unable to finish. And here is McKeithen in the front court. Ryder an opportunity to take its first lead since they went up 3-0. McKeithen gives them that lead with a floater in the lane.
And how he brought the ball down, he kept it small, right? Looked away. Everyone got away from him. He was able to score in the paint.
Couple finishes on the offensive glass that Quinnipiac hasn't been able to put in the basket. Good contest by Ryder.
Young unable to finish. Ball batted out by Richie Springs. Ryder coming away with it. Bronx with numbers. McKeithen goes in for the layup. He's got 4 in a row. And the Bronx by 4. And the Bobcats are going to call a timeout here as Ryder, largest lead of the game with 11:22 to go. That extends to a media timeout here in Hamden.
At Quinnipiac University, we don't go through life waiting for success to fall in our laps. Because success doesn't just happen. We know it takes purpose. One that's fueled every day with a clawing desire and a relentless determination. We are the ambitious, those driven to move the world forward, those motivated to propel passions into meaningful professions, those who yearn to be part of a community where everyone is welcome to thrive, those destined to make a lifetime impact. Industry-leading programs, immersive academics, interdisciplinary learning, lifelong friendships, world-class athletics. You bring me ambition, together we'll unleash it. Quinnipiac University, ambition unleashed.
Looking into the huddle for the Ryder Bronx, head coach Kevin Baggett now in his 12th year, 7 winning seasons, 21 wins for the 14-15 campaign, 22 wins, MAAC regular season title back in 17-18. And Kevin Baggett on his resume, 2-time MAAC Coach of the Year. Recognized in 2015 and again for that 17-18 campaign in the MAAC.
Yeah, he might be the oldest statesman in the league now in the MAAC, right? I think maybe been here the longest, and a man of great character, great former player, and now has done a hell of a job for Ryder as their head coach.
He certainly has. You know, when you see the players that he's been able to attract to Lawrenceville, it's very impressive.
Are you saying Lawrenceville isn't a good place to go?
No, but I mean, it's not well known, and he is attracting some big-time talent.
No doubt. Did a good job down there, right? It's a good little school. Don Harmon, the AD, former basketball coach. A good place to be.
And Billy alluded to Kevin Baggett, played in the Atlantic 10 at St. Joe's in Philadelphia under Jim Boyle back in the 1980s.
And the zoo, their gym, can really get electric.
Of course, it's in Philadelphia. Everything's electric in Philly.
Absolutely. Except
Here's
the Eagles.
Savion Lewis. And a turnover for the Bobcats. Savion Lewis trying to plead his case to the official. Almost 9 minutes off the clock, 4-point lead. Referring to the zoo at Ryder, there's only two things, and I won't tell you the first, that Billy Schweitzer was emphatic about over the years. The second is Ryder was not his favorite place to travel to.
I think it was his least favorite place to go. He made it very clear.
TJ Weeks came to play tonight in double figures as he knocks down another 3 weeks. A couple of double-doubles on the season. Riggins throwing it away. Here's Mervyn James one-on-one against Reyes. Euro step, sneaks it over the rim. Ryder's run continues, and the Bronx now by 9.
Yeah, the Bronx in transition are dangerous, right? Quinnipiac sloppy with the basketball. You got to finish plays. And against this Ryder team, that extra pass isn't effective. You got to be able to take it in the paint, and you got to be able to finish the play.
Lewis and Young in the backcourt together with Kelly, Riggins, and Reyes. Here's Damar Kelly on the three. That off the mark. Riggins able to corral it as he had position against Langston. Riggins with two, blocked. TJ Langston the block, and Ryder going the other way. It was interesting there for me on that last possession for the Bobcats. You've got Young and Lewis in the backcourt. It was Young handling the basketball. Powell up top, giving for McKeithen. McKeithen gets his defender Lewis in the air. Pass down low, dunk for JT Langston.
Yeah, they're having their way with Quinnipiac. You can't control the ball out on the perimeter. You can't control dribble penetration, no weak side help, and Ryder's serving a hot lunch.
And the offensive movement of the Bobcats has been stagnant.
Quinnipiac opened up the game. Down 3-0, scored 9 in a row, and Ryder continuing its run right now against the Bobcats.
Well, Ryder right now is shooting 61% from 2 and 66 from 3.
Yeah, and all their twos are layups, right? So Quinnipiac's missed shots, they turn live ball turnovers, and Ryder's been able to convert. Quinnipiac hasn't been able to score, and then they're playing in transition. When Quinnipiac got up early, it was because Ryder missed, and then Quinnipiac was playing in transition. So it's really going to come down to a full court game, but you got to be able to control the basketball.
Bronx on a 16-0 run right now. Up by 11. Inbounds for Otieno. Got it back. Here's Balanc. Balanc elevating on the three. Front rim, no. Caden Bennett, offensive rebound. Bennett just into the game for the Bobcats. Balanc for Tice. Tice putting the ball on the floor. The block coming, that time from TJ Weeks.
And Ryder's making a wall around the rim.
Yeah, good move by Tice. And again, you get to a point, though, when you're making a move to the basket, you really got to work in a straight line. Tice did a little banana cut, which gave the defense a chance to block the ball.
And the Bobcats are making a stab at the ball, but they're not following through.
Inside, Ingram unable to connect from point-blank range, but he draws the foul, and Tariq Ingram will go to the line for two. Paul Otieno picks up the personal foul for the Bobcats. Second team foul in Quinnipiac here in the first half. Bronx 16-0 run over the last 4:49, 22-5 run over the last 7:50.
Well, the Bronx has just been quicker to the ball.
They have. They've recovered a lot of fumbles, and those recovered fumbles have led to touchdowns. They've been able to get baskets off of all the loose balls per se, the steals defensively. So they went on a little bit of run, and Quinnipiac hasn't done anything to answer. They didn't have anybody to go to, to get them a basket.
Ingram from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Wake Forest transfer, empty trip to the line for the Bronx and Ingram.
They put a blanket over Balanc, and no one else is stepping up.
Lewis, jumper from 16, misses badly. Otieno trying to keep it alive. Ball ends up in the hands of Weeks.
Yeah, they're not guarding Lewis off of that dribble screen, and 15-foot shot, those are the one Lewis has got to be able to knock down.
Weeks also a transfer, up front player for Kevin Baggett and the Bronx. He transferred from UMass 4 years with the Minutemen. He's approaching 1,000 career points. Here is Dudley. Jumper off the mark. Rebound comes to Ingram. Ball batted away by Tice. Tice hard to the floor. McKeithen ends up with it. Feeds the wing. Weeks. Misses. Putback is there for Ingram.
Another example of a loose ball running into 2 points for the Bronx.
Yeah, no question. Quickness to the ball. Back line, be able to knock down a shot. Quinnipiac's got to get an answer offensively.
Balanc misses. Tice trying to track it down. Unable to do so on the end line. And with that whistle, we've got a break in play. Ryder here in Hamden leading Quinnipiac 29-16.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep
Ryder Bronx right now on an 18-0 run, leading Quinnipiac by 13. Matt Balanc, leading scorer for Quinnipiac, second in the MAAC, behind Ryder's Mervyn James. Balanc playing his 8th career game against Ryder. Last year had a double-double here and a double overtime victory against the Bronx. That was in February of last year. He went for 17 and 11 rebounds. Balanc so far tonight, 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from behind the three-point arc.
And as we talked a little bit in the promo, and we highlighted Balanc as Quinnipiac's player, I mean, Balanc was the one that had to play well tonight for Quinnipiac. Your best players got to score in a game like this.
There's still obviously a lot of time. We're in the first half, but it has to come at some point in time as Dudley draws the foul inside.
Well, you've got to make shots, but you also have to stop your other team when you're on a dry run. You know, Ryder's coming down, and their shooting percentage is in the 50s. So you got to put some defense on the Bronx.
James with the bucket. Run continues. James now with 9. Weeks leads the way with 11 as he's knocked down 3 threes. Tice up top on a 3. He hits it. Points right there for Quinnipiac. That ends the run for the Bronx, and Quinnipiac within 12. Tice knocking down his second 3 of the game.
Yeah, Tice has been open all night. You know, you just haven't been able to get him the ball. Quinnipiac has turned it over, but I would go through Tice.
Dudley inside missing. Quinnipiac connecting on the 3 last time down this end of the floor, getting the defensive stand just a moment ago. Now trying to cut into a 12-point deficit. Tice getting inside. Big block coming right there. Again, Ingram in the paint area. And the foul called on the Bobcats. I believe it is going to be on. It's on Matt Balanc. His first, team's 4th.
Well, you can see when the Bobcats take the ball in the paint, there are 3 Bronx jerseys ready to smother them. So if you're covered like that, you got to go outside, outside.
Well, or put the ball up to your chest, chin it, and get it up. So when they swing, they're hitting your body. Maybe you get fouled. Ryder's done all this with only 1 personal foul.
McKeithen short on the jumper. Savion Lewis in the front court. Balanc the handoff for Reyes. Coming up on 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Lewis is going to use a screen by Otieno. Works to the baseline. Balanc gets inside. Balanc, count it, and a foul.
Well, I tell you what, it was the first time that, and you're going to be able to see it here, first time that the whistle was blown against Ryder with contact. So really good job by Balanc. He knifes in, gets in the air, a little body contact. But honestly, the first whistle, Ryder's been really good defensively. They've been quick, they've been touching, and then getting off you. So good move by Balanc.
Balanc, his first points of the game, now 9 points away from passing Ousmane Drame for 8th on Quinnipiac's all-time scoring list.
Yeah, the Bobcats extend their defense, trying to quicken the pace out here.
Powell able to break the pressure, pass into the front court to James. James gets it back from Weeks.
You can see the Bronx movement on the offensive end. As soon as they release the pass, they cut to a different area.
James with 10 on the shot clock against Otieno. Ball falls off the rim. Balanc to the floor. Lewis the rebound. Bennett trying to track it down. Saves it. And it ends up in the hands of JT Langston.
Well, that's a turnover you just can't have there if you're Quinnipiac. You're battling to get back in the basketball game. You got it to a 9-point deficit. You got to make sure you execute the play on a long pass.
Otieno the handoff for Balanc. Balanc inside. Otieno, the block by Langston.
Whoa, that's 2 points. Okay, I thought it was going to be goaltending. We'll get a chance to look at it again, but certainly looked like it to me.
Fourth block for Ryder. James denied inside. Bobcats go the other way. James trailing the play. Balanc trying to get Langston in the air. Balanc hanging and scoring. And the Bobcats on a run within 7.
Yeah, see what happens if you're Quinnipiac. You can put the ball in the basket. You can play Ryder 5-on-5 on the other end. You'll get a chance to rebound. It's in transition you get yourself in trouble.
And you can see that time Balanc took the ball to the hole rather than just be satisfied with an outside shot.
Yeah, Balanc
he
here
sizes
looking it up.
His defense.
Go ahead.
Takes it hard to the hole, over traffic, and is able to scoop it up. A scorer finds ways to put the ball in the basket.
It's not easy to do what he did. He's not easy to vertically jump and then be able to move your body in the air to the side and finish the shot, and that's what Balanc did. I tell you what, though, if we get Jimmy and his crew to show us that block shot, which I thought was goaltending, boy, I would love to see that again.
I thought it was goaltending as well, and Billy, we'll take a look here, but I feel like right now in my mind he got it right at the top. No, I think that was awfully close.
You think it was a good block, huh?
Well, I didn't see any eruption from the bench, and I thought
there was. We had the reaction. Tom Pecora, his staff, and the Quinnipiac players really didn't react that way. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I might have overreacted. One of the few times I overreacted.
I was right there with you.
No,
but then as I was thinking about it, I really thought he got it right there at the top. Here's Weeks knocking down another 3. Weeks with 14. His 4th 3 of the game came in. 29% from behind the three-point line. Ryder, double-digit lead once again.
Well, he's played free and easy, no doubt.
Well, this is where the Bronx hard schedule really favors them.
Reyes fade away, barely draws iron. Approaching 4 minutes to go here in the first half. McKeithen on the dribble. Langston setting the screen. Anthony McCall, also from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Kevin Baggett has really worked from Lawrenceville down to that Philadelphia area. He's had Philadelphia players on his roster throughout his tenure at Ryder. With that, we've got a timeout on the floor. Bobcats got it to single digits, going to the final timeout here in the first half, down by 10.
At Quinnipiac University, we don't go through life waiting for success to fall in our laps. Because success doesn't just happen. We know it takes purpose. One that's fueled every day with a clawing desire and a relentless determination. We are the ambitious. Those driven to move the world forward. Those motivated to propel passions into meaningful professions. Those who yearn to be part of a community where everyone is welcome to thrive. Those destined to make a lifetime impact. Industry-leading programs, immersive academics, interdisciplinary learning, lifelong friendships, world-class athletics. You bring me ambition, together we'll unleash it. Quinnipiac University. Ambition unleashed.
Quinnipiac early on in this game, a 9-0 run. Ryder with a 20-0 run. There's Quinnipiac head coach Tom Pecora. They got it to single digits. Weeks another 3. Got it back to 10. What are you happy with going in if you're trailing at the half for Quinnipiac? If you're within striking distance, 7-8 points, after a 20-0 run. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay with anything that I saw in the first half, to be honest with you. I think you were outplayed. They outworked you. They were quicker to the ball than you. You didn't finish plays when you needed to finish plays. So I got a lot to say to my team as I go into the locker room. Now, do I want the score to be 6 and 7 points so we got a chance in the second half? Certainly. I don't want to face a 14-point deficit, which is why these last 4 minutes are critical.
And Ryder's getting contributions from just more than James.
And Weeks has made 4 for 4 ain't bad, right. We take those numbers if you're Quinnipiac in a second. But you're right, they spread it around,
Di, we visited with Tom Bacora before the game, always gracious to meet with us, and shared that his players had, with the way the calendar worked during the holidays, bucket there by Langston. Langston from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and played at East Los Angeles College. We'll touch on him if we get an opportunity. And the clock has gone out above the basket right now on the Rider end at the opposite end of where their bench is. But Tom Bacora said with the way the holiday calendar was this year, they actually had 4 straight days off at one point. That's something he's never done as a head coach during his career.
Well, it's very rare that basketball players during the Christmas time get 4 days off. You know, just the way the calendar fell was to their advantage as a player. But often, I mean, you're coming back Christmas night, you have practice the day after, and you're going on the road playing somewhere. So that, you know, that breaks up your routine, and you got to get back at it. And you know, when you're home, you're working out, but it's not the same.
It's definitely not the same. And I don't know if you're working out, to be honest with you. They're in such great shape. I think they take a couple days.
Clock issue looked like it was taken care of, and now we're going to have another clock issue. 3:42 to go. They put the shot clock right now at 26 seconds, so I do now have an opportunity. This is like telling a story with 2 outs in an inning in a baseball broadcast, but did want to mention, and I've had this in my hand for a few minutes, we're going to visit our courtside chat at halftime tonight. Carson Martin from the Quinnipiac University women's basketball team, first-year player out of Woodstock, Georgia, is going to join us for our conversation.
Coming off a big game yesterday for Quinnipiac and a great fourth quarter by the Bobcats.
And a lot of poise for a freshman.
Yeah, 17 points. I tell you what, forget the poise. She put the ball in the basket when Quinnipiac needed it.
Savion Lewis trying to go off glass. No. Paul Otieno grabs the rebound. And Quinnipiac with an opportunity here. Shot clock did not reset. Ball did not hit the rim. Here's Reyes. Shot clock at 7. Reyes gets inside. A lot of contact. No whistle. Otieno, offensive rebound. Shot clock goes to 20. Tie-up situation, and the possession arrow belongs to Quinnipiac. Otieno getting on the offensive boards, something he has excelled at in a season plus here in Hamden.
Yeah, he's coming with a lot of energy, and it's a different team tonight when Otieno hasn't been in the game. And when he was on the bench, when you started making some subs because of fatigue, that started Ryder's run.
Lewis for Reyes. Reyes, the one-hander. And Quinnipiac, again, down by 10 as we come up on 3 minutes to go here in the opening half. Ryder with a 20-0 run at one point here in the opening 20 minutes.
And Reyes has to come alive for the Bobcats.
Powell working against Reyes. Off glass and in. Impressive finish right there by Alan Powell. Averages just over 10 a game.
As Powell goes by you got to get a defender to step up. He was able to get too deep, and even Otieno at his length wasn't able to put his hand on that shot.
Otieno inside, 2 defenders there, tie-up situation, and it will be Ryder basketball. Quinnipiac 7 turnovers here in the first half.
Well, you can see anytime that ball goes in the paint, there are 3 maroon jerseys right there. So that as that ball's in the air, Bobcats have to make an offensive adjustment and make a cut, so there's a touch pass ready to come out.
Yeah, good point. But also the ball in the air was a lob pass, and it gives the defense an opportunity to come over.
Powell, the blow-by on Balanc, misses the shot. Rebound, James. Count the bucket for Mervyn James. He'll go to the line trying to complete the three-point play.
And the Bronx are just relentless on the offensive glass. You know, the shot goes up, and you see the maroon jerseys going straight up, grabbing the ball and powering it right up. Don't bring it down, take it right back up.
I think to their credit, I think Quinnipiac's doing the same thing on the offensive glass. I just don't think Quinnipiac's finishing plays the way that Ryder's finishing plays, and I think you hit it on the head, Doc. they're going to get the ball immediately when they get it. They're going right back up and attacking the rim.
James completes the three-point play in double figures again. He's been in double figures every game this season. For the Rider Broncs, leading the MAAC in scoring at over 19 a game. Approaching 2 minutes to go, first half. 15-point Rider lead. Here's Doug Young. Missing on the three. Balanc bats it out. Savion Lewis ends up with it. Otieno in the paint, unable to hit. And James able to come away with it.
That was a good offensive series for the Bobcats, except the ball didn't go in.
You got to finish the play, right?
Absolutely.
James makes his. Paul Otieno misses his. So those plays add up, and it's been that the whole half, a series of unfortunate events for the Bobcats.
Rider and Quinnipiac 1 and 2 in the MAAC in offensive rebounding. Rider number 1 in the conference in rebound margin.
Well, you can certainly see why.
And they convert.
And then they play teams, too. You know, they play teams. They played some Power 5 teams.
Tariq Ingram at a long stretch on the bench, trying to post up inside. They go away from that side of the floor. McKeithen trying to beat the shot clock. Hit the backboard, and a shot clock violation. Quinnipiac basketball with 1:25 remaining here in the first half. And Bobcats down by 15. Got it to single digits. Lead went back to double figures. Weeks with 4 of the 5 made threes in the first half for the Broncs. Lewis for Young. Young at the free throw line. Here is Tice. Tice gets inside, foul. Again, that second defender coming over to help anytime the ball gets in the paint area. And Amari Tice will go to the line for 2 free throws.
They got it on the pass that time, not on a shot. So
okay.
Quinnipiac's going to have to take it out of bounds. A little unlucky that time.
And I think Tice right there just realized what you just said, and you shared it with me as well. Tice thought he was in the act of shooting.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because the ball ends up in Otieno's hands, and he's able to turn around and finish the play.
Inbounds on the lob. Otieno goes back to his left. Count the bucket for Paul Otieno. He'll have an opportunity for a three-point play.
Now, that's a finished play that the Bobcats have to do.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of it, right, guys? So Otieno makes a good play, uses his left off the glass, and gets bounced a little bit. So, again, you got to have something that you know you can go to in order to stop that 20-0 run. And the Cats didn't have anything to go to. And now as you head into the locker room, your job as a coach in the locker room at halftime, you got to make adjustments, right? So we'll see some adjustments from Pecora, no doubt.
Paul Otieno starting his 46th straight game at Quinnipiac. Completes the three-point play. 1 minute to go here in the first half. Pressure on the made free throw. James double teamed right in front of his own bench. Kevin Baggett races down and gets the timeout. And we will keep it right here. Right now, a 12-point game, 57.6 to go in the first half. Weeks 14, James with 11 to lead Rider. Otieno has 9, Tice with 8, and Matt Balanc was stymied early on. Balanc now has 5.
And shooting percentages, clearly. Again, I'm not a really big stat guy, but I know that Woody Call hasn't really missed a shot, right? They're shooting over 50% from the field, Rider, and they're shooting over 60% from threes with a good quantity.
Well, look at their offensive movement. You know, as soon as the ball comes across midcourt, there are 3 cuts to the basket. Once a player receives it, he goes away. Another one comes through. So the defense is like on a swivel. They're trying to find their guy, and they're getting some easy looks.
Yeah, they're able to do whatever they want. They're dictating. Your job on the offensive end is to do what you want. Your job on the defensive end is to take away what the offensive team wants to do. And the Cats haven't been able to do that. Riders had them on a...
Dudley working into the front court, gets it to McKeithen. James inside, able to connect. James now with 13 on 6 of 10 from the field.
Well, it's been easy for James, hasn't it?
All season long, it seems, and again, against some great competition. Lewis got 2 defenders in the air, whips it up top, Balanc. Balanc rattles home the three-pointer.
And that was that quick pass out.
Yeah, good feed that time by Lewis as he gets in. And Yeah, big stop here by the Cats. If they can get in there down 11 with the ball to start the half, come up with a dub.
Young poked it away from McKeithen. Ball out of bounds, 17.9. Ryder can hold for the final shot here. Savion Lewis, right now, second in the nation in assists, 7 here in the first half. Here's Powell. Powell's a go-to guy. This is the man you want the ball in the hands, and you can also go to James with 10.
And Quinnipiac's got a foul to give here. Don't be surprised if they get close to the rim. Go ahead and take your foul.
4 seconds. Powell against Otieno. Throws it up. Doesn't get it to fall. Comes to Young. And there is the buzzer ending the first half. Ryder. Bobcats will open up the second half with the basketball. Savion Lewis, Matt Balanc, Amari Tice, Alexis Reyes, and Paul Otieno. Quinnipiac once again without Reeve Avers, one of their top three-point shooters. Here's a three-point attempt by Balanc. That one off the mark. One and done for the Bobcats on their first possession of the second half. Reeve Avers, Tom Pecora hopeful to have him back in the coming weeks. Right now dealing with a bone bruise in his, I believe, his left knee. All poked away. McKeithen ends up with it. McKeithen working one-on-one against Mac Balanc. From top of the key, inside the three-point line, McKeithen knocks down the jumper.
Yeah, really good job. Good tempo by McKeithen. Took what the defense gave him.
Did a little shoulder fake, created a little space.
Otieno denied at the rim by Tariq Ingram, but Ingram is going to be called for the foul. Otieno helped up by his teammates.
Ryder foul number 33, Tariq Ingram, his second, team first.
Yeah, that was a good foul, right? But again, Quinnipiac, that middle set, high dribble screen, is giving them opportunities.
He was ahead of the play. Thought he had an open shot, but Ingram was able to recover.
Otieno, 9 points, 5 boards in the first half. Savion Lewis, 8 assists, 3 turnovers in the first half for Quinnipiac. Otieno missed the first, hit on the second.
Well, it's hard to get an assist if your teammates aren't scoring.
Yeah, he's lost a few, right, because they missed some easy shots.
Pressure by Quinnipiac. That was effective on a couple of occasions in the first half. Weeks had it poked away.
Well, you look for an Achilles heel on a team. Press offenseman Ryder hasn't been great. They're catching it a little deep, giving Quinnipiac a chance to press.
James catches it as he came back into the backcourt. Now picking up the dribble, in trouble. Finally gets it for Powell. Now McKeithen out on the Bobcat logo. Powell against Balanc, putting the ball to the floor, trying to use the screen. Elevates on the jumper, misses it. Ingram was there with Otieno, out of bounds off Otieno, trying to plead his case with Stephen Perry Jr.
Well, that's a ball Quinnipiac has to come down with, right? 2-on-1, you got
Savion
Lewis, Otieno against one player. You got to come down with the ball.
Powell cutting away from the basketball. Ingram gives it back for McKeithen. McKeithen elevating. He's caught fire. 4 points for McKeithen early on here in the second half, giving him 8 for the game.
Well, it's hard if you go behind the screen against the way Ryder's shooting right now.
Yeah, McKeithen's tempo and his composure has been outstanding for Ryder.
Tice falling down. McKeithen into the front court for the Bronx. Feeds the wing. 3-point attempt by Weeks off the mark. Powell able to grab the loose ball, keep the possession alive.
And no reason for Quinnipiac not to come up with that loose ball. Ryder's just been quicker to everything.
Ingram going to the right against Otieno. Missed the shot. Tice the rebound for Quinnipiac. Lewis giving for Balanc. Balanc, quick trigger on the three. Buries it. And Balanc in double figures now with 11.
But it's an easy game when you get a dribble handoff and the ball goes in, isn't it? Now figure out a way to stop this Ryder team on a defensive end. They're moving the ball from side to side, and Quinnipiac doesn't have a chance, to set up strong side or weak side defensively.
Ingram dribbling into Otieno. Ball out of bounds off the Bobcats.
And they're spreading the floor. I mean, they're playing from sideline to sideline. You know, you got to cut the court in half.
You definitely do, right? You got to create for your defense, for your teammates, an opportunity, strong side where the ball is, and you can get help on the weak side. They're moving Quinnipiac back and forth, and Quinnipiac isn't able to contain the dribble nor the perimeter players.
JT Langston into the game at the last whistle, giving it up for McKeithen. McKeithen short on the three. Rebound comes to Savion Lewis. Lewis feeding Reyes. Reyes gets an open look on a three. That one no good. Battle for the rebound. McKeithen has been everywhere for the Bronx early on in the second half. Pass inside for James. Count the bucket for Mervyn James. He has an opportunity for a three-point play.
Now that's a transition offensive move where, it came from a defensive rebound. 3 players came down the floor, little touch pass, and in.
Yeah, I'd love to see it again and be able to go ahead and just tell the audience why James is as good as he is, because what we're going to be able to see is when he catches the ball down in a low box in transition, he chins the ball, puts the ball to his chest with a hand on each side, and then explodes from there. And honestly, you sit here as an announcer going, as soon as he catches it, the basket's going to be good. There's no doubt that it's going in.
James, over 1,600 career points and 2 stops at the Division I level. Savion Lewis could not get it to fall.
Yeah, a little unlucky that time. Good move by Lewis.
Strong move.
For Quinnipiac, Billy, approaching 1,400 career points with Quinnipiac. James, over 1,600. He's done it with 53 career three-pointers. Balanc on the other side, approaching 200 career threes. Great defense there by McKeithen against Doug Young.
Well, you show that ball to Ryder, they're going to take it. You got to keep that ball close to your hip. So when they go ahead and try to swat, they're hitting your body. That ball's laid out there. Ryder's incredible in terms of being able to get their hands on it.
Tice the block on James. Lewis lost the ball going up.
Well, they got quick hands, that Ryder team.
They take the basketball from you. They take your lunch money as well.
Well, I tell you what, you better not go down to New York and play 3-card Monte with them. If you saw somebody with a Ryder basketball sweatshirt on, go to the next booth because you're losing your cash.
And how about the defense that Young was able to play that time on James? He stuck with him, and Bronx were able to collapse and create something out of their defensive effort.
At some point during a game, when you're getting outplayed, outworked, outquicked, you got to man up. You got to take it personal, and you got to say, I'm not going to let this happen to me anymore. Quinnipiac has yet to get to that point consistently.
Lewis, 2 of 2 from the line. Almost 4 minutes off the clock here in the second half. Ball stolen by Balanc, anticipating that long pass to midcourt, intended for James.
The press offense Ryder doesn't do great, which will lead to early offense for Quinnipiac. Big basket there. Balanc's got a chance for a 4-pointer.
That might be the play right there for Quinnipiac. We'll see. Balanc hitting on the 3, and he's going to have a chance for the 4-point play when we come back. We've seen it from Balanc before, knocking down the 3, drawing the foul. Quinnipiac within 9.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Hi, you might know me from my other job, but I'm a business owner too. Here at Once Upon a Farm, we chose the new Capital One Venture X business card. With no preset spending limit, our purchasing power adapts to meet our business needs. Love it. And unlimited double miles means we earn more too. Sweet, right? And when we travel, we get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. I could get used to this. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet?
I built a field hospital.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Popeye's new chicken wings make no sense. Marinated in Louisiana spices, hand battered and flipped, and then we have the audacity to call all 5 flavors fast food? Won't you really say something? Or order something?
Love that chicken from Popeye.
Well, the Quinnipiac Bobcats within 9. Matt Balanc will go to the line for 1 to try to complete the 4-point play and make it an 8-point deficit. Bobcats entered tonight having won 6 of the previous 6 meetings and 8 of the previous 9 against Ryder. Remember last year, double overtime here at home, where the Bobcats were able to prevail 90-88. Balanc had a double-double in that game.
Well, that whole possession started with defensive effort. That full court pressure, a lob pass they were able to steal, then come down and convert quickly. And as you're trying to close out on Balanc, he nails it and gets fouled.
Listen, the only chance Quinnipiac has, and I think Pecora knew it, is you've got to really be able to put the ball in the basket so you can press and then play 5-on-5. Oh, that's not sure about that call. They called such a no one-on-one in the first half. A little touch foul there.
Foul on Doug Young.
I know I sound like a fan, but Ryder, you've been great all night.
Can they go over the top of the defense? And the travel there. Langston pleading his case. Young and Balanc forcing that turnover. And the Bobcats, Ryder has not had the ball in the front court in the last handful of possessions.
And listen, Diane knows all too well, or I know probably better than Diane, because my team was always losing at half. Your job as a coach is you can't find a fault, you got to find a remedy. You got to be able to help your team. And the key with Pecora had was, let's put the ball in the basket, play better offense, and then we'll be able to get in full court pressure.
Ball deflected. Balanc misses on the 3. Young in and out of his hands. 8-point game. A little over 4.5 off the clock here in the second half. 20-0 run by Ryder in the first half. Bronx, largest lead of the game, was 15 at 41-26 with just over a minute to go in the first half. McKeithen has had the hot hand. Getting the penetration, the block.
And on that defensive effort, there was a switch where you could not get behind the screener.
Young the putback and the foul. Doug Young, opportunity for a 3-point play.
And a whistle you might have wanted if you're a fan of Quinnipiac when Lewis takes this ball in, right? You're saying this has to be a foul. You got to blow it. But all the contact was initiated. But young Doug Young, right place, right time, and finishes.
And the defensive effort by the Bobcats was a little adjustment, maybe made at halftime, which created that turnover, which led to the score.
Well, I tell you what, Di, here's what I'm wondering. Is it really a defensive adjustment, or has Quinnipiac just started making baskets and been able to play 5-on-5 against Ryder? I think when they played 5-on-5, they held their own. It's when they were playing in transition that they went on that 20-0 run.
Again, pressure in the backcourt. Dudley is going to be called for the travel as he jumped in the air, got into trouble, and was not able to get the pass off. Young has really inspired this group defensively with the pressure in the backcourt, and Kevin Baggett wants a timeout, and with that, we've got a timeout as well. Little over 5 off the clock here in the second half, and we've got a game. Quinnipiac within 5.
At Quinnipiac University, we don't go through life waiting for success to fall in our laps. Because success doesn't just happen. We know it takes purpose. One that's fueled every day with a clawing desire and a relentless determination. We are the ambitious. Those driven to move the world forward. Those motivated to propel passions into meaningful professions. Those who yearn to be part of a community where everyone is welcome to thrive. Those destined to make a lifetime impact. Industry-leading programs, immersive academics, interdisciplinary learning, lifelong friendships, world-class athletics. You bring the ambition, together we'll unleash it. Quinnipiac University. Ambition unleashed.
Quinnipiac to this point outscoring Ryder 13-7 in the second half. Ryder turning the ball over in the backcourt several times here. Doug Young completing a 3-point play. And Quinnipiac will have the basketball, certainly within striking distance. 50-45 game right now. This is my 7th year, 2 years on radio, 5 years for us together. Happy anniversary, by the way. Is this the best team? Now, Baker Dunleavy's teams used to apply pressure in the backcourt, but even Baker would say, we're taking time off the clock. We don't necessarily have the skill set as a team, as a collective, to get steals. This group might be the best. And there's a little junkyard dog right now in this group, including Doug Young on the floor.
Well, I think it's part of McCour's playbook too. You know, it's part of what he does and part of what he teaches.
Well, and also, if you're behind, you got one way to play. You got to play tough to get back on top.
Balanc trying to beat Powell. Ingram coming over and helping. Out of bounds off Quinnipiac, and it will be Rider basketball.
Well, I tell you what, you got to earn contact in there when you take it in. You take it inside, they're letting you play as you go up.
And the Bronx aren't afraid of contact. They'll come over and apply it.
And they jump well, and they jump vertical when they're contesting shots.
Ingram putting the ball on the floor. Ingram called for the travel. Again, it was Doug Young, helping create that turnover.
Well, he's like a gnat out here. He's just following the ball, putting his hands up, and he's not fouling.
No, he's quick. He's using his quickness.
Did have that one foul, and we all thought that was awfully close. With a ticky-tack earlier on. Quinnipiac again within 5.
Yeah, you got to capitalize now, right? You do your job on the defensive end twice. You got to make sure you capitalize on this possession.
Lewis looking for Otieno. Nothing there. The handoff for Doug Young. Young gets the screen. Little hesitation. Throws to Lewis. Lewis, 3. It's good!
Oh, what a feed by Doug Young. You figured he was going to go ahead and put it up. Hangs in the air. Cross court, the right pass. Not sure to the right guy because Lewis doesn't want to shoot it, but he knocks down a 3.
His vision from underneath the rim.
Savion Lewis, just his 3rd 3 of the game. Of the season, pardon me. Here's Dudley for Powell. Where does Ryder go? You'd have to think James. There's James with the basketball. Gives it for Powell with 5 to shoot. Powell elevates against Tice and knocks it down. Powell might be the best clutch shooter in the last 4 to 5 years in the MAAC.
You think so, huh? That's saying
He's
a lot.
one of them.
That's saying a lot, dude.
He had daggers
and
last
there's the
year.
other one.
There might be the other one.
one.
He said, I don't think so, Lennox. This is Balanc. I don't care nothing about that other day.
Asked Fairfield about Powell a year ago. Both in Lawrenceville and right down the road in Fairfield, Connecticut. 1-point game.
Well, Powell and James are a dynamic duo.
Ingram answers with the 15-footer from the free throw line.
And the Cats have made a conscious decision to not guard Ingram from 15 feet and just have Otieno play a one-man zone underneath, and Ingram knocked it down.
Savion Lewis gets to the rim, unable to finish. Otieno, the putback, a block by James, but a foul.
Boy, I tell you what, Savion Lewis misses so many layups that you know are good. He is the unluckiest layup shooter in the country, in the history of the MAAC, Steve. By far.
The history of the MAAC.
But his teammates know it, and they follow his shot,
they know
and they go put it back up.
They know he's unlucky.
I wasn't throwing the hyperbole there with Powell.
No, I think you
hit
said
some
exactly
big-time
what
shots.
You said exactly what you believe.
And Matt Balanc said, hey, you've seen me for a long time here in Hamden.
Yeah, exactly. Who pays your check, my man?
Otieno hits the second. Again, a 1-point game.
And it allows the Bobcats to set up their press.
McKeithen for Dudley. Dudley high lob. Ingram able to come away with it. Ingram gets inside. He is fouled, and he'll have a chance for 3.
And that's okay. You know, you're going to take chances under. If you're going to take chances in pressure, you got to expect every now and then that the offensive team is going to make a good offensive play, and they're going to finish and score. That's okay.
And that's all Young could do with that mismatch.
Well, I tell you what,
Ingram.
What he could have done is he could have fouled him a whole lot harder, so it wouldn't have been an N1, right? You don't want him.
He was trying to. He just lost
too
his
big and strong. Yeah, you're probably right.
Ingram with 6. Weeks, 14 in the first half. 4 personal fouls for the Bronx.
And Ingram was a smart player. He knew the mismatch. He was ready to go up strong.
Yeah, sigh of relief from Kevin Baggett and the Rider team, being able to beat Quinnipiac's pressure and say, okay, now we're going to be all right.
Lewis, bounce pass, Otieno throws it down.
Yeah, I just
that
don't
quick roll off the high.
And I tell you this, Di, I don't know why Quinnipiac doesn't initiate that as their offensive set. If it's not there, then run your stuff off a dribble screen after that.
Dudley on the bounce pass for Ingram. And a foul on the floor on the Bobcats. Take another look at Mr. Otieno.
Again, it's a simple bounce pass off a high dribble screen, and it honestly has been Quinnipiac's most effective play, and one they can continually go to and then adjust from there.
And that time he quick released after he set the screen. So he didn't wait, he quickly
He just
released.
went right away, like slipped it.
Weeks with the 4 fouls back on the floor. Knocked down 4 threes in the first half. Ball batted away. Young comes away with it. Ahead for Balanc. Balanc against 2 defenders. Unable to finish. Otieno pinned it to the backboard. And Ryder going the other way. And Young is going to be called for the bump on McKeithen.
Boy, another unlucky finish for the Bobcats. I know you got to put it in. Unlucky. I thought Balanc put it right where he wanted on a good feed. Up in there. Otieno again. Almost tipped it. Just can't get over the hump.
And 3 Bronx right there on the defensive glass.
Naturally.
Doug Young the foul, his third. Powell looking to use the screen. James sets it. Powell at the free throw line. Draws the foul. Is that on Young?
I think it's Young. This will be his 4th, right? He's been a difference maker, too, for Quinnipiac.
Steve Perry is putting up 2, so Balanc.
Okay.
Well, Balanc raised his hand very quickly.
A smart play.
So Balanc the personal foul. Savion Lewis, career high 12 assists in this game. And are they going to change it now? Looks like they are. It goes to Doug Young, and that is his 4th.
And that's a shame for Quinnipiac because I think he's been that spark plug for the Bobcats.
Ryder by 2. Powell misses on the first. Powell, redshirt senior guard from Philadelphia. Looking to get to double figures for the 7th time in the last 8 games. Entered tonight with 97 career steals. Does not have one tonight.
Ryder,
that's
putting a
surprising.
little pressure.
Balanc had to elevate to corral that pass from Savion Lewis. Lewis waiting, finds Tice. Top of the key 3. Off the mark, no. James possession. Langston dribbling inside the 3-point line and knocks down the jumper.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of not guarding players, Di.
No, yeah, you have to, right? At this level, everyone can score.
I think you have to. It's a free throw.
Absolutely.
Balanc answers at the other end with a 3-pointer. Quinnipiac within 2.
Yeah,
Twice they've gotten to within 1.
He's one of them streak shooters, right? He's starting to feel a little bit. So, again, Quinnipiac's got a lot of better tempo to their offensive sets.
Well, they're driving the ball down the paint and creating some openings with the way Ryder's playing defense. They're collapsing inside, which is making openings on the perimeter.
McKeithen, Langston feeds the corner. James baseline jumper is good. Mervyn James now at a season average. He's got 19. Balanc above his season average with 21.
Leave the Bronx open, they're going to score.
There's no doubt why he was preseason player. Picked preseason player of the year. James is a special player.
Caden Bennett drawing the foul, and Bennett's going to have a couple of free throws when we come back. 4-point game with 10:40 to go in regulation.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Ryder 62, Quinnipiac 58. Steve Lennox, Bill Mecca, Diane Nolan courtside from M&T Bank Arena in Hamden, Connecticut. There's the newest member of the Quinnipiac University men's basketball program. Tom Bacor and the Bobcats announcing the signing of 14-year-old Javian Arroyo through Team Impact on Thursday. There's the young man, Javian Arroyo, with his mother, Deja Cruz, his sister, Isabella, and his grandma, Sandy. He'll be involved with games, practices, and other team events throughout the year. Javian was officially introduced at an in-person press conference at M&T Bank Arena earlier this week. He lives with a rare genetic condition called Soto syndrome. And again, he's going to participate with the Quinnipiac University men's basketball program. He was sitting on the rider bench in pregame. Guys coming up and getting high fives, and went over and introduced myself. Guess what I got? I got a late Christmas present from Javian. I got a great big hug.
Oh, I love it.
Best hug of the year.
I love it.
Right now, January 5th.
I love it.
And he's wearing number 8.
And those are things that you really, you come to a basketball game, you watch the kids play, you're critical of what they do, what they don't do, and then you see all the stuff that they're doing off the court, impacting kids' lives. So great relationship between Quinnipiac Athletics and team impact in general.
And it's wonderful to see how basketball opens the door for so many different kinds of things other than just the court.
Yeah, inclusion is so critical, isn't it?
I think we've certainly learned that over the last handful of years. A nice reminder. Javian, again, that was a great, he just came up, gave me a little high five, and then he went right in for the hug. And
gotta love it.
Tice at the line for Quinnipiac.
Best part of the night, Quinnipiac with another steal off of their full court pressure die.
And not only are they stealing it, they're converting it into offensive points.
Scoring off of it.
Absolutely.
It's been easier for Quinnipiac in the second half. They found Riders' kryptonite. And it's certainly tonight was full court and is full court pressure.
Third time this half, Quinnipiac within 1. There's the pressure. James double teamed. Bennett came away with it. The whistle, and they're going to call for the tie-up. Possession arrow belongs to Ryder.
Kevin Baggett trying to yell for a timeout there, and officials didn't hear him. He's able to get it just like a timeout because possession arrow goes to Ryder.
Now Ryder is down to 1 timeout remaining with 10.5 to go.
Well, he's fortunate then that they didn't call it.
Bennett is sort of taking the Doug Young role right now, with Young picking up his 4th foul. Picked up 2 rather quickly. McKeithen able to get into the front court near carry, near midcourt.
Well, maybe another carry near us.
Very close.
Powell gives it right back to McKeithen. Here's Powell on a 3-pointer. That one rims out. Tice the rebound, falls to the floor. Appears to be all right as he got the basketball to Caden Bennett.
I'm going to ask Di, why is that a travel?
Yeah, Ryder is asking the same thing.
Tice, 2 defenders, feeds Bennett, 3-pointer, off the mark, no. Otieno grabs the offensive rebound away from Langston.
Slow down a little bit if you're Quinnipiac. Get the ball into the middle of the court. Run it off Paul. He knows what you want. He knows what you want.
Lewis, bounce pass, Otieno, Bobcats! First lead since the first half.
Precision pass.
Yeah, I tell you what, Otieno coached him up. Otieno knew what he wanted. Give me the high dribble screen and let me play.
I like the switch of the Bobcats on the high dribble screen against Ryder.
Weeks with 4 fouls. Unable to connect. Bennett to the floor along with Weeks.
They're battling. Quinnipiac possession. Well, you saw this comment. Otieno called him. Look at him pointing. Come here, and I'm going to go ahead and set it. I'm going to slip it, and you're going to make a great feed, and I'm going to finish for you, Savion. What number is that for him, bro?
He's up to 14 dimes on a Friday night.
Oh.
Sometimes I like to call him dimes.
Excuse me. I know you just did. I like it. Then you said it twice.
Lewis feeds Bennett. Bennett going inside, draws the foul. Bennett, opportunity. 2 coming up at the line for the freshman from Texas.
But how about the pass from Savion Lewis?
Yeah,
he takes it all the way underneath the rim. Defense is collapsed, and here comes Bennett.
And Bennett, to his credit, didn't settle for that mid-range jumper. He attacked the rim.
He got it, made contact, and goes up, and now he's got to convert both of these free throws. Quinnipiac shot it well from the line. Bennett's got the only miss.
And he misses the first. Dudley and Ingram checking in for Kevin Baggett and the Bronx. McKeithen and Langston to the bench.
Take your time.
Tice back
at the free
in,
throw
replacing
line.
Paulo Tiena.
Well, you take your time, right, Di, but you also got to get the ball up in the air. And the 3 basketballs fit through that rim at the same time, but you got to get it up for the ball to go in.
Bennett, empty trip at the line. Quinnipiac, 1-point advantage. Under 9 to go. Bobcats, 6 straight wins in the series against the Rider Broncs. They've won 8 of the previous 9. James getting inside. Bennett waiting for the calls. He's helped up by Reyes and Tice. They're going to count the bucket for Mr. James, and he'll go to the line for the and one.
Well, James crosses you over inside, and Bennett got there a little late. Right thought, just didn't get there quick enough, and I think he didn't get there quick enough because James is that quick. A special player.
And the way he can cross over so quickly, when you're playing him on the defensive end, you blink your eye and he's gone.
That's 6'7".
Hits on the free throw. 2-point Rider advantage. Powell hounding Lewis in the backcourt. Savion dribbles into the front court looking to use the screen. Knocked down a 3 earlier in this half. Balanc elevates on the 3. Off the mark, no. Ingram goes high for the rebound. Had position against Bennett.
And a sigh of relief for Rider where Quinnipiac didn't make a shot. Trouble here.
They go to James inside. James against Reyes. He'll have an opportunity for another 3-point play. The finisher for James and Rider.
Well, it's a mismatch down there when he catches the ball in the low post. He's just too good. And I don't think Quinnipiac can play without Otieno.
And here he comes back in the ball game.
So Mervyn James entered tonight with 5 20-plus point performances. Matt Balanc entered tonight with 6. Dakota Lefew of Mount St. Mary's leading the MAAC with 7 20 or more point performances this season. Balanc now has done it for the 7th time this year. James adding to his total above 20 for the 6th time this year. As advertised, Rider entering at 3-10 overall, 0-2 in MAAC play. Balanc, the miss, the putback on the offensive rebound by Mr. Otieno.
Yeah, he can't play without him. And again, an unlucky layup missed by Quinnipiac. One we all felt was going to go in, right, Di?
Except Paul Oneonta, who's underneath the basket waiting for it.
He's getting a lot of points because Quinnipiac's missing some easy layups.
Lob for James, good defense by Lewis, and Otieno was able to pick it off.
Great job by Lewis defensively, good hands.
Lewis, burst of steam to the rim, shot falls off the rim, ball batted out. Here's Dudley in a foot race with Balanc. Dudley going in, denied, but fouled. Otieno and Balanc were both there. Dudley hard to the floor, right at the stanchion.
We're going to take another look at this one. We're going to see great steal. Going hard, let's take a peek. I tell you what, we got the ball, but a little bit of body after he hit the ball. So, yeah I like the call.
Rider by 3. Media timeout. Everyone catch your breath. 7:39 to go in regulation.
Quinnipiac University, we don't go through life waiting for success to fall in our laps. Because success doesn't just happen. We know it takes purpose. One that's fueled every day with a clawing desire and a relentless determination. We are the ambitious, those driven to move the world forward, those motivated to propel passions into meaningful professions, those who yearn to be part of a community where everyone is welcome to thrive, those destined to make a lifetime impact. Industry-leading programs, immersive academics, interdisciplinary learning, lifelong friendships, world-class athletics. You bring the ambition, together we'll unleash it. Quinnipiac University, ambition unleashed.
Well, Quinnipiac went in front 63-62. Mervyn James, the magician that he is, now at 25. Balanc's got 21. Savion Lewis, career high 14 assists. 3-point Rider lead. Dudley, the foul was called on Paul Otieno, his second.
But James, you have to be impressed where he draws the toughest defender. and usually two are coming at him, and he still finds ways to score.
Yeah, but I guess if you're better than the toughest defender, what difference does it make, right? And I think James is just better than any defender that you would put on him.
Quinnipiac, after Weeks knocked down a three on Ryder's first possession on the offensive end, scored 9 in a row. Ryder had a 20-0 run in the first half. Dudley at the line for two, young man from San Diego, California. And the first one falls off against Penn State last weekend. 24 minutes, had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, did have 5 turnovers. Entered at 75% on the season from the line.
I'm not sure he wanted you to say that. I'm not sure Mom and Dad listening to him needed you to say he had 5 turnovers.
Well, it was one of the numbers.
I understand. I'm just saying about Mom and Dad. I think you got to do your job.
He's only got 1 tonight.
There you go. There, Mom and Dad.
I'll tell you a story after the game. Producer one time threatened to take my headset off. Caden Bennett misses on the 3 and out of bounds off Mervyn James. You know, Greg Ott, who worked here at Quinnipiac.
Yes, he did. Great man.
Sports information director for Ryder and the SID for their basketball program. He's under the weather, so did not make the trip. We wish him all the best. And he said the illness he's dealing with is very mild right now, so hopefully in the coming days he's able to regroup and rejoin the Ryder basketball program. But he said in a note today, Mervyn James, preseason player of the year, blocked there by Ingram against Bennett. James has not only met expectations, he's exceeded expectations. Powell the miss on the 3. James there for the putback, no. Ball ends up in his hands again. Kicks it out for Powell on the 3-point line.
Well, if you're a Quinnipiac fan, you're happy when he passes.
He's in the corner. Otieno did close out. Now the jumper from James, that's good.
Can't be late when you put your arms up against James.
Man, you could be early and he's still going to score. Man, what efficiency. He's 11 for 16 from the field. How efficient has he been for his 27 or whatever he has?
Here is Tice. Little breathing room right now for the Bronx, up by 6. They responded well after Quinnipiac had taken the lead.
Love it.
16-footer from Tice is good.
I love it. I love the timeout. 30-second timeout by Pecora. Good job by Tice coming up. You're going to be able to get Bennett out of the game and put Doug Young back in for Quinnipiac, who was the igniter that got this thing going for
But remember, he has 4 fouls.
That's fine.
So he's got to remember, play hard, play smart, but you can't play reckless.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great point, right? You can't play reckless. And I think he's done a really good job of playing hard, playing aggressive. He made a great play in the offensive end. So it's the right time for him to come back.
Doug Young, as Billy mentioned, was integral part of Quinnipiac, especially defensively earlier on here in the second half. The pressure in the backcourt resulting in turnovers. And go back to the point that I tried to make earlier of this team now has the ability, especially with Doug Young playing at a high level, to create those turnovers with that full court or 3-quarter court pressure. It's not just that token pressure anymore. It's to get a steal, and they applied it at the right time. And Ryder has regained its poise, but for a stretch there early on here in the second half, Bobcats were taking advantage
James
of some
is
sloppy
in a
play.
position to score.
And a foul is called, Lewis and Tice, as TJ Weeks was in that corner. Really, you had 2 defenders with the sideline and the end line. Savion Lewis is called for the foul.
Boy, I tell you what, if you're a fan of Ryder, you want that call. You probably say it's been happening all night, but if you're a fan of Quinnipiac, you're like, this is the first time you called any contact in a double team. So advantage here, Weeks gets back to the line, and he certainly was key for Ryder in the first half, knocking down those 3-pointers.
And all 14 of his points in the first half right there until that free throw. Weeks, 4 years at UMass from Warwick, Rhode Island. 2 double-doubles on the season. 16 and 11 against Stonehill. 14 points, 12 rebounds on the road in Wisconsin against Marquette.
Yeah, that's a real team.
6-point Ryder lead, under 6.5 to go. McKeithen hounding Savion Lewis. Tice, a few moments ago, had a jumper from right there. Dribbles out to the 3-point line. Going in against Ingram, draws the foul. And Ingram is going to pick up his third. That's the 19th foul on Ryder. The way they paid with this frenetic pace in the second half, you'd say Quinnipiac 10 team fouls with 6:18 to go. Ryder now 9. That makes sense.
Well, yes, it does. And it didn't make sense in the first half when no team was able to go ahead and get in the one-on-one. And certainly Quinnipiac. I think Quinnipiac couldn't catch Ryder. It was a game of tag, and they couldn't play freeze tag. They weren't being able to touch anybody from Ryder.
And now the style of play changes. Quinnipiac start making shots. They could now apply pressure, and now that changes the whole ball game.
You hit it on the head. You make shots, you had an opportunity then to dictate, right? Listen, actors win, reactors get beat. Quinnipiac reacted to everything in the first half. Second half, they acted. They're in their full court pressure, making it difficult for Ryder.
Powell on the inbounds. Tice guarding the inbounder. Just over 6 minutes to go. Ryder just one timeout remaining, so they've got to be smart here.
Yeah, good adjustment by Coach Baggett over there with their press offense. They pulled the players up a little higher, not catching the ball in the short corner, and give them a little more space.
Weeks hits on the three-pointer, his 5th of the game. He's got 19.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Ryder did not cool off from the first half.
Yeah, made a good play. Good offensive set by Ryder.
Ryder losses in December in MAAC play, lost by 2 at Siena.
Whoa, he's putting on a show. Big fella's putting on a show for Quinnipiac.
Ryder again lost on the road in December at Siena and Albany, then lost 88-81 against Fairfield to go to 0-2 in conference play.
They get a tired Quinnipiac team out here now defensively. You get underneath that media break.
Here is Weeks, top of the key, short. Balanc in and out of his hands, but a foul. And we're going to go to the other end. Balanc is going to have free throws.
First time we've seen Weeks take a shot while he was moving. All the shots he's made have been standstill open, all those threes. You made him put it on the floor in a closeout, and you saw him come up short. Good job by Balanc, who's done a really good job in the second half, offensively, defensively, and the board. Certainly a 3-star player today for the Bobcats.
Balanc hits on the first. One more for Matt Balanc, trying to cut into this deficit. James 27, Weeks 19. Balanc 21, Otieno 20, and Tice with 14. Second free throw is good. 3-point game.
And that allows the Bobcats to set their press up.
Langston lost it, regroups, gets it ahead to McKeithen. Now numbers. James with the layup.
Okay. Get the ball back, run your offense.
Here is Doug Young. Left-handed dribble into the paint. Ball batted out. Powell ends up with it. Under 5 to go and a 5-point Ryder lead.
And those are ones you just can't shoot, right? Take it in there, kick it out to the corner. If you take it in there, you got to make sure you're going to finish it.
Otieno is going to be called for the foul as he tried to get that steal against J.T. Langston. Doug Young to the bench for Quinnipiac. Alexis Reyes is going to check in. Reyes picks up his third.
Whenever you come from behind and your offensive player is moving up the paint, so hard not to reach out, but you can't.
Hey, you got to be disciplined, right?
Billy, I have a new show for you.
Go ahead.
J.T. Langston from Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is on the first free throw. Played at East Los Angeles College under head coach John Mosley. And for 2 seasons with the Huskies, they were featured on the Netflix series Last Chance U. Until this morning, I had no idea that they actually did it with college basketball programs.
I thought it was just football.
No, I've watched it.
Of course you have. It's a basketball series.
No, it's really a good series.
Did you like it?
I watched 2 episodes earlier today. Thumbs up.
It's all about second chances.
Awesome. I'm finishing up The Diplomat on Netflix. So once I get to that, we'll move on.
You guys will like it.
Lewis knocking down a 3 from the left wing earlier in the half.
Oh,
Looks
what a
inside
feed.
for Otieno.
How about the no-look pass?
That's his 30th assist of the night.
He's halfway there to that number.
15.
What a great 2-man combination.
Yeah, that's lethal, isn't it?
You know, he was at 3-1, 9 assists, 3 turnovers earlier, and add 1. He's now at 16 and 3 turnovers.
Don't foul here. Don't foul.
Langston doing a nice job with his footwork. Misses the shot. Tice the rebound. Under 4 to go. Quinnipiac down 4.
Yeah, you got to recognize who's in there. That ain't their star.
Lewis, three-pointer, good. For the first time in his career, Savion Lewis knocking down 2 threes in a game, and Quinnipiac within 1.
But how about poise when he shot the ball? Straight up, he was ready.
I think the best part of that whole series was looking at Riders, players on the court saying, Coach, you told us not to guard him because Lewis isn't going to shoot threes. And this is the second one he knocked down. So they pay attention to the scouting report. Lewis is putting on a show in the second half.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's going to happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny.
Yeah, welcome back. We get a chance to take a peek here at Savion Lewis. You heard Steve talk about last chance you. Well, as this ball's passed, it's like no chance you for Savion Lewis to go ahead and take his second three-pointer. And would you say, partner?
First time in his career where he's knocked down 2 threes in a game.
And no one was out guarding him because they don't think he's going to shoot. Neither did we.
No,
and he caught it, and he was ready. He had no hesitation. He went up strong, stayed in the shooting pocket, scored it.
And Balanc said, hey, listen, you're wide open, knock it down.
Remember, his first 3 of the season came in the victory against Navy back in early December, and that was at a clutch moment in the game.
Quinnipiac switches here to 2-3 zone. Switching it up a little bit and seeing what Ryder's going to do. Tommy's held this for the majority of the game.
Shot clock becoming a factor. Ingram losing the ball, batted to McKeithen. McKeithen hits on the 3.
You're never going to see that highlight, but what a play by Ingram.
Absolutely.
What a play by Ingram.
And making the tough shot.
Oh, no!
There's another play.
Oh, no! Ingram wishes they had taken the timeout, so that didn't happen. Oh, no. Paul, welcome back. We've missed you. He's had quite the game, hasn't he?
He's got 24 and 9.
And against a tough defender.
Trying to get by Reyes. Weeks. Shot falls off the rim. Ball
Grab
to
that.
the floor. Reyes able to get it to Savion Lewis. Quinnipiac can tie with a 2, go in front with a 3. Here's Reyes. 3-pointer. Off the mark. No. Rebound James. Battles with Tice. Under 2.5 to go. Quinnipiac 2 timeouts remaining. Ryder, no timeouts for the Bronx. Both teams in the double bonus.
Now, that would have been the call of the year, man. You held your note just like the contestants on The Voice there, Steve, but he didn't fall.
McKeithen just knocked down a big shot. Here's Powell. Shot clock for Ryder inside of 7. Powell, short. Ball in the air. Lewis comes away with it. Lewis will pull up. Savion, career high 17 assists.
Go ahead, run that high stuff. Run this high stuff, Quinnipiac, with you and
Balanc.
Boom.
Tie game.
Well, I tell you what, no timeouts for Ryder matters.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you're looking at a coach. They need help.
They got to call it from the bench.
McKeithen looking to use the screen. Now James, the MAAC's leading scorer, gives it for Weeks.
I'd get the
Shot
ball
clock
to James.
at 10. Ingram from 17. 2 strong. Ball in the air. Balanc comes away with it. 82-82, approaching a minute to go.
I'd take a timeout here. You got 2, Die, or you taking a knock?
Timeout.
Lewis on the dribble. Final minute of play, brought to you by Hartford Healthcare. Balanc keeps the dribble against Ingram, elevates, shot, ball for Balanc, Quinnipiac, by 2.
And he hits
ball in the
by
corner pocket. That didn't look like it was going to fall.
And no timeout left for the Bronx.
Now Ryder on its heels. Powell up top. Powell misses. Rebound, Balanc.
Oh, no. Can you believe what we've just seen?
You said it earlier, Billy. Someone needed to step up, and it was Balanc. There's a foul. McKeithen against Lewis with 26.8. 2 shots coming up for Savion Lewis.
And think.
Well, they ran it. McCord didn't need a timeout because he coasted up over there on the other side, and Balanc just made a play. I'm not sure it was a great shot, but it was a great
once he
play.
got into the paint, and he had a little daylight. He saw Ingram there, but he just tried to shoot over him.
He made a great play.
Yeah.
And Pecor called it. He had him over there. They didn't take the timeout because he didn't want Ryder to have an opportunity to be coached up.
Well, were out of timeout,
No
so
doubt.
it was a good call by Pecor.
4-point Quinnipiac lead. Bobcats will call a timeout. They've got 1 remaining. Billy and Di, I'm going to give you a few moments to catch your breath, and you're going to have to come up with our performance of the game. I don't know where you guys are going. I don't have a vote tonight.
I tell you what, I think you bring both Lewis and Balanc over and have a conversation with both of them. Or I don't know who you pick, but I just got to win the game first. Right?
Quinnipiac by 4.
Win the game first.
If you're Ryder, what are you talking about in the huddle right now? No timeouts, down by 4. Each team 10 over the limit, double bonus situation.
Well, I don't think it's the time for Ryder to take a 3. Okay, so I think Kevin's over there working with his team, saying, "Hey, listen, I think they think you're going to shoot a 3. Let's get a quick 2, and then be able to defend, press a little bit, and if we have to foul, we have to foul." His job is to coach. He needs 3 possessions to win this game, Ryder. So he's got to coach 3 possessions over there, Doc.
And let's say the Bobcats, all right, what do you do on the defensive end? Are you pressing up here, or are you going and playing mid-court?
What would you do, Coach?
Go ahead, what are you doing?
I would press.
You go full court pressure?
I'd put
or
a
you
token,
go token
I'd
press.
put a token
You
press.
do your token press, right. Yeah, I don't think.
I would not let them come up easy.
Boy, I tell you what, I would love to go full court, hard press, force a turnover and win. But it's a risky move.
Especially the way Ryder can shoot.
Yeah, and get it down there quick.
Doug Young on the floor for Quinnipiac with Savion Lewis, Matt Balanc, Amari Tice, and Paulo Tieno. Powell inbound. He gets it into McKeithen. Lewis will pick him up in the front court. 20 seconds to go. McKeithen spinning. Nothing there. Here is Weeks. Gets a look on a three-pointer. That one no good. Ball in the air for McKeithen. McKeithen, ball stolen away by Young. Gives it for Balanc.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
we go. Rim, backboard, rattling, thunderous dunk, and maybe the explanation point right there.
I think he called a technical foul on Balanc for hanging on the rim.
He did.
So you get a loose ball. Ryder again all night been able to recover the loose balls. Good hands there by Dougie Young, and Balanc's going to finish it off. And he called a technical foul on Matt Balanc, so Ryder's going to have an opportunity here. He's going to come over and tell us how many shots.
They're going to take a look here. So 7.2. No technical foul. They were looking at the clock. He shook everything.
He shook me. I thought he was hanging on the rim.
I think Kevin Baggett wants, hey, technical foul here.
I would want a technical foul too.
I would too.
Right?
I thought for sure.
Yeah, Kevin Baggett. Remember a few years ago, I believe it was during the COVID year where they played back-to-back days here, Kevin Baggett got ejected from a game here in Handon. He's getting the explanation right now.
He's a fiery coach, and he's trying to back his guys.
He had every reason in the world to be fired on that play.
Right. understandable with Matt Balanc, but also you could have called the technical there. 6-point lead. Quinnipiac. Here's James inside. James with the bucket with 1.4. No timeouts for Ryder. 1 for Quinnipiac. Tice looking to inbound. Gets it for Lewis. And are they going to call? There's some indecision here. I believe the horn sounded, and that's going to be it. Tom Bakora, Kevin Baggett.